Hello everyone, welcome to our today's class. I hope you're all keeping up well. And in our today's class, we shall be looking into the Power BI. So it's basically the introduction to Power BI. And by the end of this session, the following should have been covered. We're going to cover the overview of Power BI architecture, Power BI tools and components, building blocks of Power BI, download and installation of Power BI, and finally, we're going to check or we're going to look into the Power BI desktop interface. Yeah. So I hope you're going to have a good session. Yeah. So Power BI is one of the visualization tools that are used in business analytics. Yeah. And now for the Power BI, it's actually, it serves the same purpose as the Tableau, the one that you were doing last week. Yeah, but you're going to see the differences as we continue. Yeah, so the overview of Power BI, this is basically the basics of Power BI, what we need to know about Power BI. And before I continue, I hope I'm audible enough. Kindly confirm. And if you're able to see my screen, kindly confirm. Am I audible enough? Good. And you're able to see my screen, right? Okay, so the overview of Power BI. Power BI is a business analytics service provided by Microsoft. Yeah, so, and if you have managed to download and install Power BI, you realize you get it from the Microsoft website. So it's a part or it's a service provided by Microsoft. And Power BI is a data visualization and business intelligence tool that helps to convert data from different data sources into interactive dashboards and BI reports. Yeah. So this means Power BI is basically a data visualization. So there has to be a lot of well, we're not doing calculations really, but for Power BI, we are able to gain insights from our data through the visualizations, the different visualizations that are provided. And it's also a business intelligence tool, that helps to convert data from different data sources. Now you're given data, then you're supposed to convert those, I mean, the data set or the data that you've been given into interactive dashboards and BI reports. And most of the time, actually all the time, the interactive dashboards and BI reports are usually in form of visualization. So we're going to see that as we continue. So what is business intelligence? Yeah. Business intelligence is a process of analyzing data and presenting it to the users, which help them make informed decisions. Yeah, that is business intelligence. It's that process of analyzing data through technology, like the software that we're using here, that is the technology, and you're presenting it to your users, and so that they can be able to make informed decisions. Yeah, so that is basically business intelligence. So Power BI, as I've said, you have to have the data visualization, and it is also used in presenting that data after you have converted it. You present it to the users so that they are able to make informed decisions. And Power BI provides interactive visualizations with self-service business intelligence capabilities, where end users can create reports and dashboards by themselves without having to depend on information technology staff or database administrators. This means um, when you're using Power BI, you really do not have to rely on someone else or the IT experts or the database administrators for you to create those visualizations. You're able to create them by yourself. Yeah, you as the user, you're able to create them by yourself. And Power BI also gives cloud-based services known as Power BI services, along with a desktop-based interface called the Power BI Desktop. So, and it offers data warehouse capabilities, including data preparation, data discovery, and interactive dashboards. This means Power BI is able to, is also, or Power BI also provide online-based services. That is the cloud-based BI services known as the Power BI services. That means you're able to carry out um, you're able to carry out the Power BI functionalities online. That is through the Power BI services, along with a desktop-based interface. called Power BI Desktop. So in case you're not doing it online, like the one we'll be using, will not be doing it online. So that is not cloud-based. Instead, we're going to be doing it using the desktop-based interface. Yeah. So, and most of the time, the Power BI services are usually used in organizations where they are using Power BI for business intelligence purposes. Or business analytics purposes, where they are able to share the dashboards or the reports that are created. Now they create a cloud and they are able to share the information in there. That is now the advantage of the Power BI services, and they are most commonly used in organizations. Yeah. Then the Power BI also offers data warehouse capabilities, including data preparation, data discovery, and interactive dashboards. And what is data warehouse? Data warehouse usually consists of huge storage of data gathered from single or many sources to aid the process of making informed decision at one level or at any level of an enterprise. Yeah, that is the data warehouse. It usually helps in, you know, or it consists of a huge storage of data gathered from single or many sources to aid the process of making informed decisions at any level. Now, and as they have said, it offers data warehouse capabilities, including data warehouse is basically where data is stored. Yeah, so you could have stored your data in form of Excel files in a database like SQL. Yeah, you could also have a website, yeah, like the repositories that usually contain data sets. That is a data warehouse. Basically, anything that you're able to store data in, that is a data warehouse. And this data warehouse helps in data preparation, data discovery, and in creating interactive dashboards. And this procedure or this process of data preparation, data discovery, and interactive dashboards is called the ETL. ETL means extract. We're going to see it as we continue. Extract, transform, and load process. That is the process, yeah. The process that is carried out in the data warehouse. Now, Power BI also provides the Power BI embedded on its Azure cloud platform, which enables the user to analyze data easily. It performs various ETL operations. As said, ETL means extract, transform, load operations, and delivers reports with Power BI. Yeah. So that is for the Power embedded, so the Power BI embedded. Then we have the Power BI gateways, which lets you connect with SQL server databases, analytical services, and many other data sources to your dashboard in Power BI, and reporting portals embed Power BI reports and dashboards to give you a unified experience. So we also have the Power BI gateways. This basically helps you connect data from databases. Yeah, this is for connecting data from databases such as SQL servers, analytical services, etc. Yeah, so that is uh, the basics of Power BI. Yeah, then we go to the advantages of Power BI. Yeah, there are various ways. There are various before we continue to the or before we proceed to the advantages and disadvantages of Power BI, I just want to mention that we have various business intelligence tools, and one of it being what we have been doing the past 1 week, the Tableau. Yeah. So the other Power BI tools include Tableau, Sisense, Looker, DataPine, Zoho Analytics, Yellowfin, AnswerDoc, Report Plus, ClickView, Vista, ClueTrack, and etc. They are quite a number, yeah. But most of the time, of course, everyone has their most preferred, depending on the kind of task that you're performing, everyone has their most preferred um, BI analytical tool. Yeah, so depending on the kind of task that you want to perform, and also depending on how, how simple you want it to be, the procedure to be, that is how you have to, that is what leads you when it comes to choosing um, your BI tool. Yeah, so that is about the business intelligence tools that we have. Yeah. And maybe before we proceed, why should we use Power BI and not Excel? Why should we use Power BI and not Tableau? Or what are basically the differences between Power BI and these other business intelligence tools? So we are going to look into that as we continue. Now let's go into the advantages and disadvantages of Power BI. Yeah. And in case you have a question, kindly feel free to ask. Yeah, yeah. Make sure that we don't proceed without you asking your question. So the Power BI advantages: one, secure report publishing. Yeah, this means you can automate setup, data refresh, and publish reports that allow all the users to avail the latest information. This means you're able to secure report publishing. And report publishing, especially the publishing, we're going to see before the end of the class. Publishing is used when you want to share it's usually used in the Power BI service. We've said the Power BI service is the online service or the cloud-based Power BI service. Yeah. So if you want to publish your Power BI report, you want to publish it so that you can share it on your online or in the cloud. Yeah. So you're able to automate the setup, data refresh, and publish the reports that will allow all the users to avail the latest information. So which means your data will be up to date. Yeah, I hope that is clear. So there is secure report publishing. Then we have no memory and speed constraints. So to shift an existing BI system into a powerful cloud environment with Power BI embedded eliminates memory. Speed constraints ensure that data is quickly retrievable and analyzed. Yeah. So one, we do not have memory constraints. Yeah, because to shift an existing BI system into a powerful cloud environment with Power BI embedded eliminates memory. So what did we say embedded is? The Power BI embedded is used when you're this is usually used when you have the cloud platform, when you're using the cloud services, yeah, which enables you to analyze data easily. So you will not have any um, congestion when it comes to space because this is cloud based. So you do not have issues to do with space. Yeah. Then we have there is also no speed constraints, which means speed constraints ensure that data is quickly retrievable and analyzed. Yeah, so there's no slow analysis of data or there's no slow retrieving of data. Yeah, that is because of the speed constraints. Then there's no specialized technical support required. The Power BI provides quick inquiry and analysis without the need for specialized technical support. It also supports a powerful natural language interface and the power of intuitive graphical designer tools. This means actually there's one of the components of Power BI that is called or that is known as the Power BI question and answer, and it usually use the natural language, yeah, the natural language, such that you're able to write your question there in case you have an issue as you continue. You just write your issue there and they're able to answer you and to respond to you, and you continue with your analysis. Yeah, so you'll never need technical support, or now you have to look for an IT expert to help you with that. No, they have already provided that platform for question and answer, and they answer immediately, and you're able to continue or proceed um, with your analysis. Then it is simple to use. You're going to see that Power BI is simple to use, and users can easily find it only on behalf of short learning curve. Yeah. Then we have constant innovation. The Power BI product is updated every month with new functions and features. This means we do not have to have like this version, or a specific version. This means because it's constantly uh, it is constantly being innovated. That means every month we have an update. Yeah. And I mean, it has to be updated. And in case it is updated, the updates come to the setup that you have. Yeah, the updates are reflected on your setup that you're using. So there is constant innovation. Then we have rich, personalized dashboard. And the crowning feature of Power BI is the information dashboards that can be customized to complete the exact need of any enterprise, sorry. Like the dashboards, you're the one creating the dashboards, and you knowing what you want from the data, you knowing the kind of task that you're performing, you're able to customize your dashboard. There is no specific way of creating a dashboard. No, you can do it using your own way, depending on the task that you want to perform. And yeah, basically that. Yeah, so you're able to come up with a personalized dashboard that you're able, if in case you're doing it for maybe a presentation, so you'll be able to come up with something that you yourself you're able to understand, such that when you're presenting it to maybe to the other users, you yourself you're able to understand and to explain in the rightful manner. Yeah. So you're able to create or to customize to meet the exact need of any enterprise, and you can easily embed the dashboards and Power BI reports in the applications to provide a unified user experience. Yeah. So those are the advantages of Power BI. Then we have the disadvantages. And here are some of the disadvantages of Power BI. Dashboards and reports are only shared with the users who are having the same email domains. Yeah. We're going to see when you open uh, uh, after we're done with this, you're going to check through the interface and how it looks like. And there's a point where you're supposed to log in. Yeah. So if you're doing it for a company, of course there's that email that you're using. Yeah. So for you to be able to share the dashboards and the reports, it can only be shared with the users who are having the same email domains. Yeah. So for example, I'm working for a certain company. So everyone has their own email, but now it has to be of the same domain. Yeah. We're in the same cloud. That is what it means. Yeah. So I won't be able to share with anyone from who doesn't share the same. So the admin will create the Power BI cloud. Then we're going to have our emails where we are able to log in. So that will be like some sort of a server. Yeah. Then we are able to log in into that server. Yeah. Then Power BI will not merge imported data that is accessed from real-time connections. That means you're not able to merge imported data that is from real-time connections or from a real-time something that is ongoing. Yeah. So then Power BI only accepts the file size maximum to 50 MB and the zip file, which is compressed by data of the X velocity in memory database. So when it comes to space, Power BI also looks into the space. Yeah. So there is a limitation when it comes to space. Then dashboard never accepts or pass user account or any other entity parameters. Yeah, that is the same thing that we've talked about in number one. Then very few data sources permit real-time connections to Power BI reports and dashboards. Yeah, those are the disadvantages of Power BI. Yeah, I hope that is well understood. And before we continue, um, maybe maybe we could just go through why should we choose Power BI and over Excel or Power BI. Yeah, I'll talk about over Excel. It's because one, because also I mean, if you, I'm sure when you're going through the advanced Excel unit, you went through the various visualization. Of course, Excel is one of the what the analytical tools that are used. Yeah, and we have, you're able to visualize your data after the analysis. Yeah, so so why would you choose Power BI over maybe Excel? One, in Power BI, they store and analyze huge amount of data smoothly. Yeah, so you do not have issues with loading, you do not have issues with memory, and you do not have issues with speed constraints. I don't know if you've realized when you're loading in a very huge data set in Excel, sometimes it tends to, to hang a little bit. Yeah, so for Power BI, you don't experience such. Now, that is one thing. Power BI is able to store and analyze huge amount of data smoothly. When you compare it maybe to Excel, then you're able to find data insights and show trends in, in a short time, because you just need uh, you you're not doing the calculations like Excel. This thing you just drag and drop, then you're able to get your particular, maybe the kind of visualization you want. So you're able to get your insight within a very short time. Yeah, then it's user friendly report interface. That means you're able to understand. One, it is easy for you to come up with a dashboard or the report. And the other thing is that it is it can be understood very easily, because remember, of course, something that you're seeing, you're able to remember it, compared to something that you have to, to do the analysis, the calculations. Yeah, so there's that difference. So the interface is user friendly. Yeah, because coming up with the coming up with the report is very easy, and also understanding the report is also easy. Then you're able to publish and share your reports. Yeah, so you're just we say it, but for now, for the publishing and sharing of reports, uh, if you have you're using the cloud-based services, then you'll be able to do that. Yeah. And of course, now we are using the Power BI desktop, maybe for our personal use for the course right now. But I'm sure when you're out there in your, when you're working in a company or in an organization, then this has to be there. Like you have to use the cloud-based Power BI service. Yeah. Then there is also the defining of roles, where Power BI gives you an option of define roles to make sure that different departments can only see their respective data. That means you're able to limit your data. Like not everyone has access to some data or some reports that are supposed to be viewed by the other department. For example, if you have a procurement department, and if you have the accounting department and the IT department, then you're able to limit. Yeah, there's that limitation in form of privacy, where maybe the procurement department will only access data or the visualizations that I mean, the reports that they're supposed to to access. Yeah, so there's that limitation. Yeah, I hope that is well understood. And basically, that is why we maybe chose, or rather, most of the companies or most of the organization usually use the Power BI rather than Excel, and it is very easy to use. It's time saving. Yeah, yeah. So that's it. I hope that is well understood. So we proceed to the architecture of Power BI. So the following image shows the Power BI's architecture. So we have the data preparation, and under data preparation, of course, these are the various data sources Yeah, these are the various data sources. Could be different databases, the SQL, the SAP, the Oracle. Then we have the data could be in form of an Excel, a CSV file, a text file, a PDF file. So that is one. The first thing is that you have to have the data. So under data preparation, we are able to extract data from our data sources. Then we transform our data. Transformation means you're able to, in other softwares, data transformation is basically data management where you're able to clean your data. The process of feature extraction, the task that you want to perform, and you know the features that you need for that particular task. So you're able to transform your data, then you're able to load the data. Remember the procedure that we talked about before, the ETL, the extract, transform, and load. Now that is the first part. Then we have data warehouse. This is where your data is stored. Yeah, this is where we have the huge, this is the storage of your data. Yeah, then we're able to visualize, and you realize you store this data when it's already ready for analysis. Yeah, I hope that is clear because we've already performed the ETL, then we store it in our data warehouse. Then from there, we are able to visualize. We can visualize using dashboards, reports, then the scorecard. Then from the visualization, we present the visualizations to the users where they are able to come up with they're able to come up with the different insights, or they're able, from the insights they get from their visualizations, they're able to make decisions. That is basically the Power BI architecture. Yeah. So the Power BI architecture has three phases. The first two phases partially use ETL, the extract, transform, and load, to handle the data. This was the data preparation stage, or the data preparation phase. So the phases include data integration. So an organization needs to deal with the data that comes from different sources. First, extract the data from the different sources. So you first extract the data from the different sources, which can be your separate database, servers, depending on where you're getting your data from. Then the data is integrated into a standard format and stored at a common area called the staging area. So you extract your data from different sources, then the data is integrated into a standard format and stored at a common area called the staging area. Then the second phase is data processing. Still, the data integrated is not ready for visualization because the data needs processing before it can be presented. This data is pre-processed. For example, the missing values or the redundant values, the duplicate values will be removed from the data set. After that, the business rules will be applied to the data, and it transforms into presentable data. Then this data will be loaded into the data warehouse. In short, this data processing is this bit here, the transformation bit, yeah, where you're able to clean your data for processing. Yeah, I hope that is clear. So you have already integrated your data. Now you want to clean your data or transform your data so that it can be, it can be used to uh, so that it can be used for creating visualizations. Yeah. Then we go to data presentation. So once the data is loaded and processed, then it can be visualized much better with the use of various visualizations that Power BI offers. So by using dashboards or by using of dashboard and reports, we present the data more intuitively. Then these visual reports help business end users to take business decisions based on the insights. So I hope that is clear. That is the procedure. So we have to integrate your data. I mean, this is the procedure that is followed. Otherwise, if you don't follow this procedure, there's no way you can analyze. I mean, there's no way you can analyze your data using Power BI. You have to follow this procedure. Yeah. So then we go to Power BI reports. Power BI tools. And here are some of the essential tools of Power BI. As shown below, we have the desktop, we have the service, we have the gateway, we have the report server, and we have the mobile apps. So the Power BI tools, when we have the Power BI desktop, which is a primary authoring and publishing tool. And Power BI users and developers use it to create brand new models and reports. So Power BI desktop tool is available at a free cost. And this is what we are using. So Power BI has different tools, yeah. And for the desktop is the primary authoring and publishing tool, yeah. And Power BI users and developers use it to create brand new models and reports. Then we have the Power BI service. The Power BI service, I had mentioned it as you were, as we were starting in the overview of Power BI. And the Power BI data modules, dashboards, and reports are hosted in the online software. Yeah, this is the Power BI tool that is usually found in the online software, or it's the cloud-based Power BI service. Yeah, so sharing, administration, and collaboration happen in the cloud, and Power BI service is available at the pro license, so you have to pay for it, and the user has to pay for, they have to pay around $10 per month. So that is the Power BI service. It's the online-based Power BI service. Then, then we have the Power BI Data Gateway. This one requires, or this one usually works as the bridge between the Power BI service on-premises data sources, um, the Power BI service on-premises data sources such as import, direct query, and live query. And the BI admin installs the Power BI. So most of the time, this is used in cases where you need to connect with the, or import direct query or the live query. Yeah. So of course, if they have a BI admin, that means it is also online based. Yeah. The BI admin installs the Power BI. Then we have the Power BI report server, which usually hosts paging reports, mobile reports, KPIs. I hope you know KPIs, what KPIs are, the key performance indicators, and Power BI desktop reports. Now, this is a report server. This is where we find the reports that are created. It requires updates in every 4 months and managed by the IT team. So this is the server, and it contains the reports. The reports, the Power BI reports. The Power BI reports from different, sources in the Power BI, and usually requires the updates in every 4 months, and has to be managed by the IT team. Then we have the Power BI mobile apps. This is available for Android, iOS, and Windows. The Microsoft Intune manages it by using this tool. So you can view reports and dashboards on the Power BI service report server. So this is usually, of course, has to be found in the, it's a mobile app. So you can install it in your phone. And of course, you can view the reports and dashboards on the Power BI service. Yeah, so this is an online-based, it's an online-based Power BI service. Yeah, so those are the Power BI tools, and in our case, we shall be using the Power BI desktop. Yeah, so that is it. So then we have the Power BI components. What does Power BI entails? Yeah, or what do we have in the Power BI? So we have the Power Query. This one is used to search, access, and transform public and or internal data sources. So we're going to see it once we go through the whole procedure of installing the Power BI. Then we're going to look at the interface, how it looks like. So we have the Power Query, and it is usually used to search, access, and transform public or internal data sources. Then we have the Power Pivot. This one is used in data modeling. So Power Pivot is used in data modeling for in-memory analytics. Then Power BI, I mean Power View, you can analyze, visualize, and display data as an interactive data visualization using the Power View. So in the Power View, using the Power View uh, component, that is where you're able to visualize, analyze, and display your data, maybe in form of a dashboard or a report. Yeah. Then we have the Power Map. This one usually brings data to life with interactive geographical visualization. That is the Power Map. Then Power BI service. You can share data views and workbooks which are refreshable from on-premises and cloud-based data sources. Yeah. Then we have the Power BI QA, where you're able to ask questions and get immediate answers with natural language query. That is why we said that you do not need an IT expert to help you with this. Yeah, you can just, in case you have an issue, just write your question on the Power BI Q&A. Then you're going to get immediate answers. Then data management gateway, I mean get gateway, sorry, gateway, by using this component, you get periodic data refreshes, expose tables, and view data feeds. Then we have the data catalog, and the user can easily discover and reuse the queries using the data catalog. Whatever has already been done before, you can reuse the queries, yeah. And metadata can be facilitated for such functionality, yeah. So that is the data catalog, and those are the various Power BI components. As we proceed, we're going to see how we usually are supposed to use them. Yeah. Then we have the Power BI building blocks. The following are the building blocks or the key components of Power BI. So what makes up the Power BI? Or for you to use Power BI, what are the key components or the key areas you're supposed to have or you're supposed to understand? Yeah. One, we have data sets. Remember, a Power BI is a visualization tool, and you cannot have the visualizations if you do not have the data. Yeah. So we have data sets. One, that is one, and it is very important. It is a very key component of Power BI. So a data set is a grouping of data that may be imported or linked. Yeah. So you can import your data or you can just link, you can use links. We have the various data sources. We're going to be looking into that. Then Power BI lets you connect and import all types of data sources as well as collect them all in one place. So data sets can also use data from data streams as a source. So you can use it in one or more workspaces, yeah, and it can be used in many different reports. You have the data set already, so for you to create reports, different reports, you can use that data, yeah. Then visualizations from that data set can be viewed in many different dashboards. So there is that provision of, having quite a number of reports that are being made. Yeah, we're going to be seeing that, and many different dashboards. You can also be able to come up with different, many or a number of dashboards. That is one, data sets. Then we have the visualization. It is the visualization, this is the visualization of data. And visualizations display the insights. Yeah, this is where you get the insights Power BI gains from the data. Then visualizations make insights easier to interpret because your brain can understand a picture faster than grasping a spreadsheet of numbers. Remember, even if I gave you data and you're supposed to help me understand that data, of course, you have to do some calculations, do some analysis, then you're able to come up with a conclusion. But when you have a picture, like when you have a pie chart and you have different segments, then you'll be able to, it will be easier for you to make conclusions from what you get from that pie chart. Yeah. So that is why, visualization is very key when it comes to Power BI. Then, because they're highly interactive, you're able to slice, filter, highlight, modify, and even drill into visualizations. Yeah. One thing with visualizations in Power BI, you're able to play around with what you have. You're able, depending on the task that you're performing, depending on, you know, the task that yeah the task that you're performing, you're able to play around with your data, and you're able to come up with a visualization that will be well understood and very easily understood. Then we have reports. So after you create visualizations, you have the reports. And a Power BI report consists of one or more pages with visualizations, such as a pie, a waterfall. You know, these are just but a number of, you know, visualizations that are there. We have bar graphs, we have funnels, we have tree maps, yeah, we have maps themselves, we have cards, we have tables. So you can create reports from scratch in Power BI and import them with dashboards that your colleagues have shared with you. Yeah. Or Power BI can create them when connecting to databases from Excel, Power BI desktop databases, or the SaaS applications. Then a report takes place in a single workspace. Yeah, that means you're able to create, or for you to create a report, it usually takes place in a single workspace. Then a report can be associated with multiple dashboards within the workspace. So you could be having a number of dashboards in that workspace. Then you're able to come up with reports. Then tiles pinned from that report may appear in one or more than in more than one dashboard, and you can create a report using data from a data set. Then you go to dashboards. The dashboard is an interactive visual text and graphic tiles created by you, the user, in the Power BI service, or by a colleague in the Power BI service and shared with you. Usually contains a single screen. And why are dashboards created? One, you're able to see the necessary information, all the necessary information on a single page to make a decision. So with a dashboard, you're able to come up, I mean, from a dashboard, you're able to get all the necessary information that will help you make a decision, you as a business, you know, a business person. Then you have the power of monitoring the most important trends in your business. Then you put everyone in your team in the same direction, viewing and using the same information. So you have, I mean, for dashboard, because it's being shared and everyone has access to that dashboard, then you're in the same page with the rest of the users, and you're able to view and use the same information. Then a dashboard is associated with a single workspace, as we have said, as we have mentioned. Then you're able to view visualizations from many different data sets. Actually, there's a way you can be able to load in data sets um, from different sources. Yeah, you're able to combine, you're able to merge. Yeah, then you can view visualizations from different reports, and you can view pinned visualizations from other tools like Excel for information about the dashboard design. That is a dashboard. Then we have a tile. The tile, each visual data stored in the dashboard is referred to as a tile. Yeah, we're going to see that and how it happens. So those are the building blocks of Power BI. We have data sets, data has to be there. We have visualizations, we have the reports, we have dashboards, and we have the tiles. So we go into downloading. I hope that is clear. Like you just need to understand that because it is very essential for you. Yeah. And we have a way of, I mean, for us to download and install Power BI. So you can click, let's see the downloading process of the Power BI desktop. I mean, step by step. We are doing the Power BI desktop, remember, yeah? So click on the link below. I hope we all did that. Yeah, so if we clicked on this, um, uh-huh, let's see. This is where it's going to bring me to. Yeah. So of course we're going to you're supposed to click here. Yeah, you download free. It's a, I mean, we said it's a free download. Yeah, then it's going to take you through the, let's see, just a minute. Yeah, so once you click, it's going to take you into search, an interface where you're supposed to click the download free button. Then it's going to bring you to this point. So you choose the get button, the install button. On my end, it's supposed to bring me the launch button because I already have installed it. Yeah. Then we have you can see the welcome to Power BI desktop screen, and then register yourself. Just do the registration. Yeah. Then when you run the Power BI desktop, it displays the home page or the welcome screen. So it's going to bring you into such a screen. Yeah. So this means that you have successfully installed Power BI desktop. Yeah, I hope that is clear, and I hope everyone managed to install the Power BI. It's actually, I mean, very easy. Yeah, and as long as it's free, then it should be more easier. So we go to the no. Once you have finished installing, it should take you to search page. Yeah. So I'll open my Power BI. My Power BI up so that we can go into the interface, the Power BI interface, which is very important for us to understand. Yeah, so kindly be keen on these parts. So here we are. Yeah, so once you open, um, you realize we have this. So this is what you're going to get. So we have this. We have the Power BI desktop under Get Data. This is where you get your data, your different data sources. Could be Excel, could be CSV, could be as an SQL database, and so on. Yeah. Then we have the recent sources. This means is what the recent sources will show me what I've been working on, yeah, previously, or um, the most recent task that I've performed on Power BI. Then open other reports. If in case I've already created other reports, then if I want to open them, I can use that. Yeah. Then we have the, sign in to publish your reports, access certified data sets, and share insights on organization content. So, so we have that. Now, in case I already have, if we're not using if the Power BI, I'm using the Power BI service where I have, it's an organization-based cloud, yeah, supposed to log in. And of course, for you to log in, you use your official email, yeah, which has the same domain as your admins, depending on the organization that you're working in, yeah, or working for. Yeah, so this is for when you're using the Power BI service and you have to connect with other users. Yeah. So in our case, we are not using that. So we get into this stage, and this is the Power BI interface. It looks like this. Yeah. So I want us to go through the Power BI interface to see to understand how what we have here, the various components that we have here, what they mean, what you're supposed to do with various, the various functionalities that we have here. So we have this first part here, yeah. So first we have the untitled Power BI desktop. This is basically the report name. If you are creating a report and you want to save it, of course, when you save, this shows the name of your report. Yeah. the untitled Power BI. Now this bit here shows the name of your report. Are we together? Then we have the various tabs here where we have the file, we have home, we have insert, we have modeling, we have view, we have help. Yeah, so these are the different tabs that have different functionalities. Then we have, in case you want to publish our report, we use the publish. And we say you're publishing this report so that it can be shared. So most of the time you're publishing it so that it can be shared in the online when you're using the Power BI service. Are we together? So we have the publish report. Then we have the different views here. So these three icons here are supposed to represent the different views where we have the reports, we have data, and then we have the model. So in the model bit, this is where modeling takes place, the data modeling takes place. When you load in your data, it's going to bring you into this view. Yeah, so when you load in your data, you are under the data view, the data view model. Then we have the report. This one is used when you're creating visuals, where you create your report from. So that is the report um, the report view. Then we have the page name here. The page name here, I mean, it's like the Excel. When you have different sheets in an Excel, we have sheet one, sheet two, and they, of course, they have different names if you choose to rename them. Yeah, so that is the same thing. So this is for page one, this is the page name. Yeah, and in case you want to add another page, you just click on the plus sign there and you're going to add another page. Then we have the visualization bit here, and under visualizations, uh, you you're able to create different visualizations. This is a stacked bar chart. We have the stacked column chart. We have the clustered bar chart. We have the clustered column chart. We have the stacked bar chart. We have the 100% stacked column chart, the line chart, the area chart, the stacked area chart. We have the line and stacked column chart, line and clustered column charts. We have the ribbon charts. We have the waterfall, the funnel, the scatter chart, the pie chart, the donut chart, the tree map, the map. We have field map. We have gauge. We have card. We have the multi-row card. We have the KPI, and we have the slicer. We have the table. We have matrix. We have the R script visual. We have the Python visual. We have key influencers. We have the decomposition tree, the question and answer. In case you want to create a visual that has question and answer, or you're supposed to write in something in there, you can use the question and answer. You can use the question and answer visual, the smart narrative visual, the paginated report, the ArcGIS maps for Power BI. We have the Power Apps, then Power Automate for Power BI. Yeah. So, and you can also get more visuals from there. So those are the different visuals. I mean, those are the different visualizations that we have in Power BI. So depending on the task, you're the one who knows the task that you're performing. And of course, maybe there is that data that you can present using a pie chart and you cannot present it using a scatter chart. Yeah. For it to be well understood, you better present it using a pie chart. You get? Now, the thing is, you're the one to know, I mean, you're the one to understand the task that you want to perform so that you're able to, to give us the right visual, to use the right visual. Yeah, you just make sure you go through these visuals and understand them. Yeah, because you just don't want to put figures there and you're not able to tell what this means and why I used maybe a pie chart instead of a donut chart, where I used a funnel instead of maybe a ribbon chart. Yeah, so you just have to understand the different visuals and where they are used. Yeah, yeah. So that is it. That is about the visuals. Then we have the filters. we have the filters here. So under filters, we have filters on this page. You have to add data fields here. Then yeah, just now this we're going to do that if we have the, I mean, as you're using the sample data. Uh, hmm. Then under this, we have these two are usually used together with the visualizations, where you're able to add your data using this. You add your data to your visual after you have loaded in your data. The components of your data usually come here at the up here. They usually, you see, right now we do not have the fields. We do not have the various components of your field, like the columns, what you have in the columns, the various components. And when you click here, you realize you haven't loaded any data yet. Yeah. So for you to get the various components here for the fields, you have to have the data. Yeah. Then for you to use this icon here, you have to have your data. So add data to your visual. Then here, this is where you format your report page. Under this, you're able to, you're able to work on your visuals. For example, if you want to change the font, the color, you want to, add legend, you want to add different, you know, you just want to make sure that your visuals are well put and they are well understood. You want to add titles, you use this icon for the format. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Yeah, so that is basically what we have under the Power BI interface. So under the report name, we say the report name, this is it here. We can rename the report while saving the same for the first time. Yeah. So how do you save? You come here and save. So you just put the name. For example, let's give it sample 2. Sample 2. And that is our report. We have we have renamed. So this is the report name. Then we have the views. We have these 3 views here. We say this is the report view. And under report view, we can use different visualizations to build reports. Yeah. So in case we are building reports, yeah, this is where we are able to create, or we use the different visualizations to build the report. So if I want to create a report, if I want to create, if I want to create a visual here, if you want to build a visual, it usually appears on the report view. Okay, I hope that is clear. Now this is the report view. Then we have the data view. Data view, so once data is loaded to Power BI desktop, the same can be seen in the format fields. And here we can create calculated columns and measures. So we're going to be checking on the data analysis expressions, and under that we'll be calculating measures and calculating columns. So that usually happens on the data view where you've already loaded in your data. Yeah, so once you load in your data will appear here on the data view. Then we have the relationship view. This is the relationship view under the model view. And this view is useful to build relationship to create a data model. So in case you want to come up with a data model, this is the view that will give you that platform to create your model. Yeah, that is the data model. I hope that is clear. Then we have the page name. Yeah, so of course we have the page name here, and the page name, we can have multiple pages into a single report a single report, and each page contributes a part, and it's usually like the sheets, as I had mentioned, the sheets tabs in Microsoft Excel. So here we are. Yeah, so this is page 1. I can add another page, another page, another page. So, and you can have different pages on a single report. Yeah. Then we have, I mean, as I've mentioned, in case you want to add a new page, you click there, the plus sign, then you're able to add a new page in the report. Then we have the tabs. The tabs here, we had the home tab, and the home tab, this is a general purpose tab and usually used for connecting new data or editing queries, etc. So under home tab, we have the general purpose, the general purpose tab, and it is used for connecting data. You're able to connect your data. It has the what do I say, it has the basics of functionalities. Yeah, so you're able to transform your data, you're able to create a new visual. That is what the home tab provides. Then we have the view. So under view, one can set the view and even design the phone layout too. So here you're able to, just work on your view. I mean, just work on your report. You're able to, maybe the theme, if you want to change the theme, if you want to different views that you want, the page, the mobile layout, you want to add grid lines, you want to, snap to guide, you want to have filters, so you show or hide the filter pane while editing. Then you have bookmark selections, performance analyzer, and in case you want to sync the slicers. So that is the view tab. Then we have the modeling tab. Under modeling tab, this is where you're able to create new tables, parameters, etc. And this one can be done here. So this is where you, in case you want to add a new table, in case you want to, you see, it has the data modeling measures. Yeah. So in case you want to add a new measure, calculate quick measure, calculate new columns, come up with, calculated tables, this is where we have the functionalities under modeling. Yeah, that is the modeling tab. Then we have the help tab. And under help tab, this is a good resource to learn this program and even post your queries in the Power BI forums. So in case you have, this is where guided learning. So you have, let's see what it's going to give us under Power BI. So here we are. So it just provides, the different, maybe tutorials or something, learning pads, embed Power BI analytics, any information that you want about Power BI, you can get it under the help tab. Then we have the, training videos in case you want to watch those videos. Of course, learn from Power BI experts on YouTube. Documentation, this is where you learn how to accomplish tasks and use different features in Power BI, search for help with specific issues or report a problem. Then we have the Power BI blog. This is where you learn about new features and read updates from our team, now their team. Then we have the community. This is where you connect and learn and share with experts and peers in the Power BI community. Then you have Power BI for developers. Then, in case you have an idea of for new features or making a suggestion to improve, now this is their suggestion box. In case you feel that maybe you can contribute, yeah, maybe you want to add a feature, you have a new feature in mind, this is where you submit your idea. Then you have external tools where you browse and download community tools that integrate with Power BI. Then get inspired by reports created by experts and download samples. So here we have the examples. So in case you want sample data sets, sample reports, community galleries, partner showcase, you're able to get them from there. Then we have the consulting services. And in case you have any consultation, this is where you ask your questions. Yeah. So we have Power BI envisioning supply relationship. Yeah. So that is the consulting services results. Yeah. So you're able to have all these consultations in case you have any consultation. Yeah, so you even given the contacts. Now that is under the help, that is under the help tab. Then we come back here. We have the publish reports, and we say these published reports. This usually helps in publishing the report created in Power BI desktop to Power BI service. So, if you want to publish your report, you let me see. If you want to publish your report, you're publishing it from desktop, but you want it to be you want it to be created in Power BI desktop and published so that you can share through uh, the Power BI services. Yeah. So then we have the as we began. I hope you remember there was that bit of when of signing in. Yeah. So you sign in to publish the report or importing new visualizations. So one has to sign in into the Power BI service. Yeah. For you to be able to publish the reports and importing new visualizations, like you want to share them. Yeah. So you have to sign in into the Power BI services. Yeah. So that is it. Then we come back here. We'll just go through it very fast. Again, visualization pane. This is where we said you're able to choose among many visualizations. You're able to choose the visual that you think you're able to build it. Yeah. Or you need it for visualizing your data depending on the task. I repeat depending on the task that you want to perform. Yeah. Then we have the filters pane. Here under this filters pane, Power BI Desktop provides three levels of filters. We have the visual, the page, and we have the report level. So we have the visual report, we have the visual page and report level. Then we have the drill through filter here. And this one usually helps in accessing the detailed report of an item. You know, you're able to access the detailed report of an item. Then we have the drop fields pane here. And this is the fields pane. And under here, we have the drop fields pane. And as every visualization needs one or multiple fields to show data into it to facilitate to drop the desired fields from the fields pane. Then format pane, the format pane here. So we have the format pane here. And every visualization has different formatting options. And this pane usually helps in in formatting the selected visualization. Then we have the fields pane where you show all the connected data tables and fields. Then we have the feature update notification where you're able to, the feature update notification. This is going to show you a notification for any new update released from the Power BI team. And remember when we were talking about why we go for Power BI or the advantages of choosing Power BI is because it's usually you know innovated every time. So every month or every time they have an update, your Power BI desktop is usually updated. So we have that feature update notification where you get notified in case there is new update released. Yeah, I hope that is clear. Then we have, in case you want to change default settings. Yeah, in case you want to just change the default settings, we come here. We go to File, the Option and Settings. Then under that, we have the Options. So under this, in case you just want to change the default settings um, of your uh, um, of your Power BI desktop, in case you want to make some changes, you just go to the settings. options and settings, then choose options. Then we have the data load, and under data load, um, we have, so let's see, data, under data load, maybe you can deselect update relationships and auto detect new relationships after data is loaded, depending on what you want to, the kind of, the kind of setting that you want to make. Then we have the regional settings. Um, you have the regional settings here. This is where, application language used in the Power BI desktop user interface, such as the ribbon and dialog boxes. Then you have the model language, um, language used when comparing strings in data for creating internal date fields. So you have those options, yeah. So you're the one to know what you want to work with, yeah. So you choose, yeah. So we haven't really changed anything on my end. Yeah. So continue. We have the um, so under data load, we can go through this. We have type detection. So always detect column types. And of course, this is all about data and when you're loading new data. So in case you want the Power BI to always detect column types and headers for unstructured sources, you select the first one, detect column types and headers for unstructured sources according to each file settings. Never detect, you're the one who knows what works for you or the instructions that you want to give the Power BI. So in case you want to make any, in case you want to make any any changes, yeah, that is what you use. Under Power Query Editor, we have the layout. In case you want it to continue with displaying the query settings pane, display the formula bar, data import, we have data preview, we have parameters, then we have the formulas. Then you have direct query, treat SAP HANA as a HANA as a relational source. We have the R script, how you want it to appear, how you want it to be, to be able to get data from R scripts, how you want them to be. Then we have the Python scripting, we have security, we have privacy. So always combine data according to your privacy level settings for each source, combine data according to each file's privacy level settings, always ignore privacy level settings, etc. Then we have the regional settings. We've talked about that. That is basically about the language. Then we have updates, yeah. And we talked about these update notifications. So we want you to be aware of our latest updates. So in case you want it, in case you want the updates, the update notifications, then you just click there. So we want you to be aware of our latest updates, so you can benefit from the regular improvements to the product. So Power BI Desktop will periodically check and notify you about new updates. Then at some point in the future, all versions of Power BI Desktop will stop working. We will notify you at least 30 days prior to your version's expiration. And we said, because this, the Power BI team is usually innovative, so you'll keep on having updates. And the best thing with this, they're going to inform you before it expires. Yeah. Yeah. So that you're able to update your version. You just update your version. Yeah. Then we have usage data, and then diagnostics. Then we have the preview features. Yeah. Auto recovery. Then we have the report settings. Um, okay. So we've talked about, we were talking about the data load, the type of detection, the relationships. Then we have time intelligence, where there is auto date and time. or time. Then we have background data, allow data previews to download in the background. Then you have parallel loading of tables, maximum number of concurrent jobs, default one or custom. Then you have the question and answer. So those are the different, that is basically what we had in the Power BI interface. I hope this is well understood. Uh-huh. Yeah, I hope this is well understood. So tomorrow we are supposed to cover, or in our next class we're supposed to cover data integration. And we say data integration is basically being able to integrate your data from the data source to your to the Power BI. Yeah. So maybe using what we've been doing. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We can just try something here. How do we get our data? And I hope the interface is well understood, because for sure you need to understand the interface, because you cannot be using fees, you cannot be doing or performing any task in Power BI without understanding what you're supposed to do. Yeah, or the different features or the functionalities that we have here. So you have to ensure that you understand your interface, the Power BI desktop interface very well, so that yeah, for easier operation when you're using the Power BI. So in case you have any question, kindly feel free to ask. And in the meantime, I just want us to just see how you go about the different um, the different parts, the parts of an, the interface, how you go about it, how the different functionalities that we have on the Power BI desktop interface. So we'll just get some data. So if you want to get your data, though we are going to go through these tomorrow, my data set is in form of an Excel workbook. So I just select that. Then it's going to bring me into this data. Yeah. So it's going to connect from my data source, and this is an Excel worksheet. Yeah. So here you realize that my data has three worksheets. So we have the country worksheets, we have the worksheet, we have the date worksheet, we have the product worksheet, and the sales worksheet. So I'm the one to select what I want. So if I chose the country worksheet, this is it. Yeah, so I'll just select them if I want to work with that. Now this is data extraction. So data extraction, we have extracted our data from our data source, and we've just extracted it. Remember the ETL procedure, the extract, load, and the ETL, the extract, transform, and load in the data. So in case you want to transform, before you proceed to load in your data, what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to transform your data. So in case your data doesn't need to be transformed, or maybe, for example, the sheet that we have here, it doesn't have a lot of information or a lot of details. We only have two columns. Yeah, maybe I just want to use them as they are. Yeah, so what do? Instead of going to transform data, I'll just go direct to loading data. But you have to always make sure that your data is is well cleaned. Why? Because if you proceeded to loading your data for data modeling, it's going to bring an error. It's going to give you an error. And now you have to reload the data. You have to integrate your data again, then go through the procedure of transforming your data, then you load in your data. So you have to be careful. Kindly go through your data, understand your data well, transform the data, then proceed to the loading of the data. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. So I load in my data. So it's loading the data. So this is my, of course, this is the visual or the report view. Then we have the the data view. Then we have the, in case we're doing the modeling, we have the model view. Okay. So this is our data. Um, we have loaded in the data. So we have the country code and the country. So in case you want to create a visual from here, uh, so of course, as you can see here, we have the country, and under country, now this is the name of our data set, and under country, we have two columns, yeah. Uh-huh. So, and we have the visual here. So, so in case maybe, so in case maybe I want to create different visuals, the different visuals here. I'll just choose the visual, then I'll populate, or I'll just bring in the, for example, what do I want in my visual? I want column 1 and column 2. So this is it. This is just an example. Yeah. Of course, it's not that, it's not that clear because you will not understand what that means. It's not that clear. So that is why I was telling you that when you're choosing your visual, you have to be careful, and you have to understand the different visual. You just don't create a visual for the sake of creating. You want to understand, what does this, with this visual, what will my use serve, what